So, I made a few videos on the vinyl, cassette and CD revivals. Okay, there doesn't seem to be a CD revival yet, but I like to be ahead of the game. I made my video, The Cassette Revival, so wrong on so many levels, first, and I got slaughtered in the comments. Well, not literally slaughtered. And I've been on YouTube so long that any criticism is welcomed because it's correct. Either that or it's water off the proverbial duck's back. Roast me. My criticisms of vinyl, cassette and CD media were all technical. CD is actually pretty good, and there were very few things to complain about. But vinyl and cassette, honestly, in the third decade of the 21st century, I don't know how people can listen to them, but there are matters other than the technical, and that's what I want to cover in this video. Like my previous videos, I'll split this up into levels. Vinyl, cassettes, CD, so right on so many levels. Let me ease your heartache. Level 1. I'll look at vinyl first, since the vinyl revival, to my mind, has the most going for it, if not much. What's wonderful about the vinyl medium is not the vinyl record itself, it's the sleeve and the artwork. See this? I've seen it. It's tiny, a mere 30 inches by 21. And you can't even get close to it. There are so many other visitors in the way. You can see where I'm going here. A 12 by 12 album sleeve is plenty big enough for a great work of art. And there have been many. Okay. You want it, don't you? And that's not the whole of it. You can have a gatefold sleeve that opens up a panoramic 24 by 12 canvas that can display an amazing work of art. And then you can have inserts 12 by 12. I've only just started to cover the possibilities. But then, in 1982, CD was invented, and we had to make do with less than 5 inches square. 5 inches square is not 12 inches square. Contrary to popular opinion, less is most definitely not more. Getting that nostalgic feeling yet? I haven't finished. The sleeve is only part of the whole vinyl experience. Okay, let's go back to pre-CD times. You would have a record collection and keep it in a case or on a shelf. Your friends would have a record collection too. You'd go round to a friend's house and take some records with you so that you could share your music. Or if you went to someone's house you hadn't been to before, then after exchanging greetings and pleasantries, you would flip through their record collection. You wouldn't have to ask. It was normal to do that. You're not just seeing what records they have, you're learning about the person's tastes, their character, and they will do the same when they visit your house. But even on your own, it's a whole sensory experience. The smell of the sleeve, it matures with age. The feeling of taking the record out without leaving fingerprints or damaging it in any way. You might, if you wish. That worked really well during the vinyl shortage of the mid-1970s when records were really thin. Then place it on the turntable, lower the stylus, and the expectation. Okay, the click of the stylus touching the record and finding the groove, that noisy, swishy, phasey, rumbling sound before the music. It's not the sound of technical perfection, but the sense of expectation. If you've never had it, then you'll never miss it. But I can tell you, you've missed out on something. I could go on to mention what comes next. The pops, the scratches, the clicks, the surface noise, the distortion, the pre-echo. I didn't mention that last time, did I? Oh dear. Actually, I have a solution for this. Later. Level 2. Okay, I have to say something positive about cassettes. Struggling here. So I can go to a car boot sale and see a crate of records. I might find something there that I can't get digitally. Spotify is big, but it doesn't have everything. It's exciting. I flip through the first few discs. No, not that crate. I've done enough crate digging to earn my Divi degree. And I know by instinct when a crate is good or bad. But that elusive good crate, I might pay up to £1 if there's a record I really want. I'll digitize it and declick it at home and keep the physical materials for their art or nostalgia value. Damn, I was supposed to be talking about cassettes. No, cassettes don't do it for me. But I can see why they might perhaps do it for others. There are a lot of people who entered the world of music collecting through cassettes, not vinyl. Obviously, they will have the same nostalgia for cassettes as I do for vinyl. Nothing wrong with that. And then there are mixtapes. People made their own mixtapes and shared mixtapes with friends. They made mixtapes for special occasions. Clearly, this can be done better digitally these days. But there's something about making up and giving a mixtape to a special friend that doesn't really work by sharing a link to a playlist. And then there's rosy retrospection. Viewing the past through rose-tinted glasses, or listening to the past through a rose-tinted ear trumpet. Either way, anyone of a millennial age or thereabouts will see Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy and want his Sony TPS L2 Walkman and funky orange headset. And you can buy Star-Lord's awesome mixtape from the Disney Music Emporium. I can get that. So cassettes, maybe not all bad. Level 3, I'm coming back to CD again, but I covered most of the positive points, and there are many in my video on that format. But there was something in the comments that took my interest. Release your music on a physical format or risk it being wiped away from the world. Look up cyber pandemic announced by the IMF. That's the next big psyop coming our way. You've been warned. Okay, this is getting a bit heavy now. But I have to admit that I didn't consider any of these formats from the viewpoint of the songwriter, artist, or band. Songwriters, artists, and bands obviously consider release formats, and that's a whole discussion in itself, mostly about money. But the point of the comment is that vinyl, cassette, and CD are all very long-lived media. I have records dating back to the 1950s, for instance. But if you release only on streaming services, how safe is your art? Going back into the past, I've had CDs released that sold a few thousand copies. Not enough for a gold disc, but I was once number 4 in the Tower Records Weird chart. I digress. But the point is that what I like to refer to as my art has been spread out all over the world in physical form. Most of these CDs will now be in people's lofts or cellars, at least the ones that aren't in landfill. So I, as a creator, have the feeling that my art has the opportunity to endure. But what if I'd released on streaming services if they'd existed back in the 1990s? I reckon that at some point they would have decided that my music wasn't generating enough revenue to warrant its hard disk space, and deleted it. Only I would have copies. Okay, some artists, taking art in its broad sense, don't mind their work being ephemeral, but most, I'm absolutely sure most, would like to think that their work has lasting value, or at least the possibility of lasting into the future. Whether there will be a cyber pandemic, anyone who says they're an expert probably doesn't have a clue. Level 4. Here's a way to keep your vinyl and your cassettes and play them and hear pure, perfect sound at a level of quality that's as good as 24-bit 96 kHz digital audio. No clicks, no pops, no surface noise, no hiss, no distortion, and no degradation over time. It works like this. You take out your favourite record from your case, crate or shelf. You gaze at the wonderful cover art. You smell the aroma of the matured cardboard. You take out the record and place it on your turntable. You lower the stylus. You hear the introductory swish and rumble. Then you hear beautiful music in 24-bit 96 kHz quality. Or should I say music in beautiful 24-bit 96 kHz quality. What's happening is that your record player is connecting to your streaming service. The streaming service listens to the audio and detects exactly what record it is, like YouTube's Content ID or Shazam. And it returns the digital data stream to your amp and speakers. I'm sure I didn't think of it first, but the internet doesn't seem to know about it yet. Well, now it does. I waive my patent rights and offer it freely to the world. Okay, flight of fancy. Or serious possibility. Time will tell. I think I've pretty much covered the topic of audio revivals. Maybe I didn't cover minidisc, but I'll leave that for someone else to have a go at. The iPod revival too. It's bound to happen. As always, whether you agree or disagree, please leave your thoughts in the comments for everyone to share and enjoy. I'm David Mellor, Course Director of Audio Masterclass. Thank you for listening.